All right. Let's see. And then I'll look up how many suggestions we got.
My,
We got a lot.
great.
And you can choose. I'll give you the number, then you just choose which one you want to do.
Okay.
Um, all right. So we have KJ. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 12
Whoa.
suggestions. Yeah, 12 suggestions.
Okay. I have an idea, Jay.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this dart and you say where it lands. Are you ready?
I'm going to say where. Okay.
You
Got
good
it.
to go?
Yep. Ooh, 8.
8.
Right on 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bunk bed. Our suggestion comes from Bo Clausen, our good friend.
Oh.
Bunk bed.
It's kind of cold in here, honey.
Yeah, it's real cold. I thought heat would come with it, but I guess they shut the heat off.
Dang.
Whew.
All right. Well, I'm going to make some cocoa. Do you want me to start dinner too, or are you hungry yet?
Yeah. And hey, why don't I help? We'll make dinner.
Oh,
Right.
you know what? I always say you're the best helper I've ever met.
Oh, I guess that's why we get along so well.
I know, right? Okay, here's what you can do.
Yeah.
Go get the cheese,
Okay.
and I'll get the bread ready for some Sammys.
Oh, that's great. I like it. Let's just keep it real simple.
Yeah.
All right.
And maybe tomato soup. Do you want soup?
I love your tomato soup, and I was just gonna say it, but I'm like, I didn't want to, make the mention of the soup because I didn't know if you wanted to have soup for dinner. So tomato soup is magnifique.
You know what I like, babe, that you do like think ahead about what might throw me off, like the tomato soup if I didn't have it, like that would make me panic normally, but I'm not going to panic about it this time because you headed that off, and I love that about you.
Yeah, we came up here, and one thing we agreed is we're gonna leave all of that anxiety. We're gonna leave it back in Manhattan, and we're just gonna sit here, and we're just gonna take a moment. We'll choose just the most rustic place, and we'll just be. And it's sometimes hard to just be.
Yeah, especially when there's like shit that loads us down. Like I feel like in the city it's just heavy, like heavy. Pass me the cheese, babe.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I
Oh,
mean, there's a lot of energy in that city, and a lot of it is just like you got to do, you got to do, you got to go, you got to go. And I feel like before I knew it, bam, there was 8 years. 8 years went by, and it was like, wow, we didn't catch a break. We did not stop. We looked up, and it's like, wow, look at what happened. We're 8 years ahead, but have we gained 8 years of anything really, except just
I
hustle?
know, right? Hey, your cocoa's ready. Here you go.
Oh, oh, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah, well, it's so freaking cold in here. I thought I'd make it extra hot.
No,
So,
it's perfect.
okay.
I forgot, like, there's so many stars out, and the weather's just crisper. This is why I love autumn. Autumn is the best time of year because it gets a little bit cold, which makes you feel alive.
I agree. Do you remember that autumn? Or where was that when the plane was landing? All those red leaves. Where were we?
Yeah, we were in Rhode Island.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, I was going to take a job at that hospital in Providence, and then I mean everything about that city was great except the job.
Oh, that's right. Damn it. You're
No,
right. All those people we met, those were good people.
yeah, they're good people. It's just like it just didn't. You know what? It didn't seem like the right time, and it
Mhm.
wasn't.
Oh, honey, can I propose a toast real quick?
Oh, yes,
Okay. I'm going to toast to the right time.
I love it. to the
Cheers.
right time.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. It's perfect. The temperature is perfect. It's hot enough. It's not burning my lips, but it's like right on the edge.
So good.
Mm.
Okay. So grilled cheese. This time I did it with sunflower oil instead of butter. It's all they had here. So go ahead.
I'm
Take your
there.
Sammy.
Thank you. I'm willing to try it. I think this weekend is all about
Take a
trying.
bite. Let me know what you think.
Okay.
Yep.
Hot.
I know. I know.
No, it's good. I mean,
Okay.
it's good that it's hot.
Soup's almost ready. So
I feel the
don't burn your
steam.
tongue. Don't burn your tongue.
You know.
Uh-huh. Right.
Mm.
Right. Sunflower oil.
It's so good. And you know what? Thank you for telling me before I ate it, because if I ate it and you didn't say anything, I'd be like, I can taste something different. But now that I taste it, it tastes the same. And it's
I
better
know.
for me.
Good to like anticipate what other people are going to be out and then like cut it off at the head for them, you know?
Just like you cut off the crust for me. You know, I don't
my-
like crust.
Come on. Okay, soup's ready, honey. Now this is seriously hot.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna make a. Can I make a fire?
Oh my gosh.
You care?
My mind, it's so damn cold in here.
I know. Do you care? I'm gonna make a fire.
Do it. I love it. And you know, I brought some sage so that we could smudge the place, but do you want to throw some sage in the fire?
Yeah. Oh, that'll make it smell real good.
I know, right? Really clear up the energy in here. This is like, I don't know that I've ever been to Petoskey, Michigan before, honey. This is like a first. Doing all right?
Yeah, it's going.
Wow.
Whew, it's hot. I know. You know, like, I think it's good that we're still able to try things, because I know a lot of people in our situation, they get settled, and you know, that's my biggest fear, is to just be settled somewhere. And being with you, it's like I never feel like I'm settled, which is a good thing.
It's so nice. Moving
Yeah.
place to place is just good for us.
Oh,
We
that's
just figured it
sage.
out.
That sage smells real
Yes.
good.
Now try your soup before it gets cold.
Okay.
Careful, careful.
Mm.
Yeah.
You put Parmesan in it.
Little Parmesan, little basil.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what? It's the simple things in life that I think we got away from us, or at least for me, is like enjoying these simple moments. And like, we don't need any fancy anything. Like, it's the memories.
I know. Memories. Speaking of memories, honey, top or bottom?
Ooh, well, you know, my brother always had the top bunk,
Yeah.
and I was always really jealous of it. Like, I never got that top bunk. And so, you know, my I'll be honest, my first instinct is I want the top bunk.
Okay.
But then my second instinct is like, well, do I want it because I want it, or do I want it because I never had it and he had it?
Yeah.
And then my third instinct is we could share the top together. We could share a bunk.
Oh. Okay, let's think that through here.
I know. As I said it, I'm like, I think they're twin beds, so I think I'm going to take up most of the bunk bed. I mean, you'd have to sleep on, like, literally on me.
I know. And then what if, I mean, I know that you talk a lot in your sleep, right? And then I move, and then you talk and I move. I could see us like, you know,
falling.
Like, yeah, I don't want to. Oh my God. What if we take a look at these mattresses? Careful, it's still hot.
Mm-hmm.
What if we just put them on the floor, mushed them together by the fire?
Oh my God, I love that idea. That way we don't have to choose.
Yeah, we can both have space, And in a way, you're getting bunk because it's the top bunk mattress.
Yes. And that way, when I talk, when you turn over, you aren't going to fall out of the bunk bed. Even if you were on the bottom bunk, you would be falling on the floor. But this way, we're already on the floor.
Right. Like sometimes you just have to figure out a different way of stuff, you know?
Yeah. I think when I go back, I think I want to maybe reevaluate what I'm doing. Maybe I don't want to be a physician anymore. Maybe I want to teach more. I mean, I'm not getting younger, and the times that we spend together are becoming more important to me. So maybe it's time I pull back.
You know, I'm really happy to hear you say that because I'm a little worried because your sleep are things like, oh my God, he's dying, and I'd be okay with you pulling back. Like I make plenty with the
Yeah.
book publishing. So honey, just quit.
Huh. Really?
We just talked about how 8 years ago we were like crazy. And everything was like rush, 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 do. Oh my God. Serious right now? I'm so proud of you.
I sent a message to John Pressman, and I'm requesting a meeting the Monday I get back.
Oh my God.
And I'm going to give my 2 weeks. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I just know I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it's affected me so much.
Come on. Come, give me a hug. Give us a hug.
Scene. KJ.
So fun. I'm glad you're quitting that job.
Oh, yeah, right? Like sometimes you just got to go for it and not worry about the next step ahead and just quit.
Yeah.
When I was moving to Los Angeles about 5 years ago, I wasn't sure. We were talking about moving, and I heard an interview with Steve Carell, and he said, I left 2 dream jobs. He left Second City and The Daily Show. He goes, I had no plans, but he goes, I left 2 dream jobs because I felt comfortable. And I had talked to my ex, and I go, I don't know if I want to move because I'm really comfortable. I'm teaching at Second City. And that interview hit me real hard. And I was like, okay, universe, being comfortable is not a good place for me to be at. And like, it really helped me make decisions that ended up being for the better. But at the time, it's so scary because you're like, I'm okay. But like, sometimes, you got to bet on yourself.
You do. And like, good on you for being vulnerable. It's kind of jumping. Like, I think it's a risk a lot of us aren't willing to take, especially, I'm almost 50 and some holy shit, I need to have my shit together and be in a job I'm going to be in for the next 30 years. And then my other part thinks about how much I tell my kids to like be wide open, have a heart wide open.
Yeah.
And it's okay to just jump.
Sometimes we got to listen to the advice we give others. I'm noticing that a lot during this whole quarantine is like, man, I sure tell people a lot of things. I got to start listening to those same things that I say.
Yeah, dude. Like when you told me to lose my shit, like, are you losing your shit these days?
Yeah. And it can be very, very scary at times, but also it's very liberating where it's just like, we put on this ceiling where it's like, oh, that's good enough. And then we don't want to lose it. We want to have, because it's a control thing.
Oh my God. Yes.
It
is. It is. It's like holding back because you're afraid. Again, it goes back to being vulnerable, right? And like, whew.
And it's so hard too, because it's like, a lot of times when you're vulnerable, there are people who can take advantage of that. And it's like, how do you navigate away towards those people? And even more so, how do you remind yourself that those people don't matter? Like their opinion none of that matters to you. And it's only the people who are around you that mean the most to you. And those are the ones that are going to hold that vulnerability very close and be gentle with it. So, I also learned, like, don't be afraid to get away from situations and circumstances that in the past might have served you, but at some point now moving forward, it's like, everything changes. So you might not need it now. I have friends who it's like, I don't stay in touch with them because it's a different time in my life. And I'm also like, enough with, your political leanings. Like, this has shown me like we aren't connecting that same way anymore. And that's fine. I can move on and say, hey, for the time I knew that person, it served a purpose, but now it's just like, I don't need that now.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, it's the seasons, like we're going through these seasons, and
Yeah.
sometimes what felt right or good for your heart at the time, fast forward to a year, now it's not good to your heart. It actually hurts to be with it.
Right.
So it's okay to step away.
Yeah, and it's okay to be like I got divorced in last July, but I don't look at it like a failure. I look at it like, yeah, it's a very sad situation, and this is somebody who means a lot to me, and it meant a lot to me for a long time, and we have kids together, and it was a very successful relationship where at the end it was like, okay, it seems that things have changed to the point of we want our kids to watch us be the best versions of ourselves, and that couldn't happen being together, but I still think so much about her and think very highly of her, and she's an important part of my life. But it's time, I'm entering a different phase of my life. I've reached 50, my friend, and you will enjoy it. It is great. It is so wonderful. It's like, oh, you have all this wisdom and you are now more aware of who you are, and you stop caring as much too. At least that's what I've experienced.
Isn't that beautiful? Don't you wish, like, I look at my 15-year-old and the things that are about peer pressure or how he looks or whatever, and I'm like, God, if I could have sat down with my 15-year-old self and been like, oh my God, honey,
Yep.
it doesn't even matter.
None of this matters. And you're going to look back on this and you're going to be like, oh, none of that mattered. But when you're 15,
Yeah.
you don't have a reference of time. You don't understand that there's a future. Everything is so in the moment right there, and everything becomes everything's extreme. It's the biggest deal.
Yeah.
I'm the most in love. I'm the most devastated.
Yeah.
Everything is
It'll
just
never change.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm never going to find somebody or whatever. And you're like, no, it's all.
What about when you're 60, Jay? When you're 60, what do you want to look back on and be like, hey, when I was 50, I let go of those things because it didn't matter?
I think like part of it is, for me, it's the clock is like not speeding up, but it's getting to a point where it's like, okay, what do I want to do? What are things that at the core of me, it's like, oh, this is what I want to do. For me, I'm like, I want to bring people joy. I want to make people laugh. I want to have people take improv and see how it changes their lives. So that's what I want to focus on. And so when I'm 60, I'm like, ooh, did I achieve that? And is that still serving me, or am I in for a new adventure? But I think as you get older, for me, I'm like, ooh, these are all becoming more adventures. But I want to be able to say like, oh yeah, in my 50s is really the decade where I helped people the most. Like I think what I'm here for is I just want to help people. I want to help people become better versions of themselves, and to help them find their voice and find their tribe and find their people and be like, hey, we're all kind of in this together. And so that's when I turned 60, I'm like, ooh, I want to look back and go, the 50s, that was what a decade. I knew who I was. I was more aware of who I was. I was able to pull myself away from things that I didn't need and things that didn't serve me and things that weren't good for me. And to say like, I'm going to be okay. Like, it's very scary, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to leave this job. I'm going to leave this relationship, whatever, it could be a relationship with a colleague or a friend, or and go like, oh, it's not serving me, but I'm going to be okay.
You're a good soul, Jay Suko.
Hey, Jay Hardy, you are so good. And I'm so lucky to have met you. And I'll never forget the times we spent in that basement down at Second City.
I know.
It was such a good, like, having you in that class was wonderful. And then having that class was such a special time in my life. And if people want to follow you, reach out to you, social media, this and that, how can they follow you?
2 ways. Come to Facebook, or go to Portage Park in Chicago. I'm the woman drawing stuff on the sidewalk and talking to my dogs because my people are introverts.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I know you make people's lives better around you, and I'm so grateful that you're my friend. And we will do this again and continue to talk more.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay.
All right. Thanks, KJ. Have a
Take
good
care.
one.
You too.